What is going on, everybody? I hope you're amazing day. And today we're going to be talking about some Aston Villa transfer news. But before we get started, I want to say a couple things. First of all, huge thank you for 260 subscribers. The last time I uploaded, which was like a month ago, I was on 240, and I want to say a huge thank you. I haven't even uploaded since then, and I've hit 260 subscribers, past my goal of 250. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the video and like the video as well. And if you want to see more content, of course, turn that notification bell on as well. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, I am going to be getting back into the groove of uploading because now I'm on summer break. No exams to worry about, no school, anything like that. But enough about my personal life. Let's talk about some Aston Villa transfer news. So, I have 4 stories I'm going to cover today. 2 of them are strikers, 2 of them are other transfer rumors that we've seen and heard about in the news but are likely to happen, as well as it is expected to be another quite busy transfer window at Villa Park, although it's not going to be hugely as busy as it was 2 years ago or even last summer, probably not. We're just looking to fill some gaps in our team right now because there are a few weaknesses, but if we pick the right players, we could really be a threat next season for European competition. But without further ado, let's get into the video, and I'm going to discuss my number 1 option that I think we should go in for this summer. Alright, so my priority signing for this summer transfer window would be Tammy Abraham from Chelsea. Get him back into Villa, please, Dean Smith, honestly. We need someone to partner Ollie Watkins up front, or even then, Tammy Abraham is a natural number 9. We could push Ollie Watkins up to the left wing some games and put Tammy Abraham as our sole number 9. Them two playing off each other would be scary. Using Ollie Watkins' pace and Tammy Abraham's natural goal-scoring instinct, it would be lethal. And under Thomas Tuchel, who has done a great job at Chelsea, he's not going anywhere. Tammy Abraham could leave because he's just won the Champions League. He's accomplished what he wanted to, and he barely played under Thomas Tuchel. He's been coming off the bench sometimes. Of course, he hasn't even been named in multiple squads. So it's the perfect time for Tammy Abraham to leave, and we've set aside $40 million for someone to partner Watkins up front, and it looks like Tammy Abraham will cost right about that range, 35 to 40 million pounds, to pry him away from Chelsea. And as much as Chelsea fans don't want to see him go, I think they would much rather keep Thomas Tuchel, who's just guided them to the first Champions League trophy since 2012, than a backup striker. But an alternative to that, supposedly, because we have set aside that £40 million, someone whose price has been slashed by Torino, is Andrea Belotti, a striker who's long been mooted for a Premier League move. He's been linked to the likes of Everton in the past, I believe, and Tottenham at one point as well, I think, as well. And if he comes to Villa, he would do well. I think he scored about 15 goals in the Serie A this season, and I would rather see Tammy Abraham come back than him, but if we can't make up the money to get Tammy, then Andrea Belotti would definitely be a competent alternative as well. Now, what these two provide is a goal-scoring instinct. They both have very good goal-scoring records. Tammy Abraham is Premier League proven. Belotti has only done it in the Serie A. He's never done it in the Premier League. Another reason why I think we should be going for Tammy Abraham. And speaking of Tammy Abraham, I'm going to have a video coming on why I think he is our priority signing. That's going to be tomorrow's video. I'm just going a lot more in-depth than I am here because I want to cover 4 news stories. I don't have the time to chat about every single one excessively. But Belotti has been a consistent goal scorer in the Serie A. If we can't go for Tammy Abraham, £25 million looks like it's going to cost for Belotti. That's $15 million less. That could also give us some more funds to invest in other areas of the team that we need, like attacking midfielder out on the wings. Okay, but enough about Tammy Abraham and Andrea Belotti. The next story I have for you is about David Turnbull, the Scottish attacking midfielder, 21 years of age. He's been likened to Frank Lampard by some pundits. I don't know if he's quite there yet. But he would definitely be a good signing for Villa. I don't think he would adapt instantly into the player that he could be one day at Villa, but give him a season or two, get him off the bench, get him into some games, get him into the cup games and everything. Give him time to adjust to the game. I think he could be a very, very good player. Already called up to the national team and has been a star for Celtic this season, scoring 9 goals, and I think he has 6 assists as well. So that's very impressive in the Scottish Premiership, considering Celtic have been absolutely woeful this season compared to the previous standards. Still finished second, but for a club like Celtic, that's like coming last in the Premier League. I mean, it's first or second for them. That's the difference. It's first or nothing for Celtic, really. And Rangers have absolutely run away with it this year. Credit to them, of course. But like I said, 21 years of age, has time to grow, and we need someone to replace Ross Barkley. And it looks like David Turnbull could cost 7 to 12 million pounds. It doesn't look like he'd cost too much, but he'd definitely be keen to make the step up to the Premier League as well. So that would be a very good signing. I do see that one happening, though. And maybe we could get him some games in the Cup, like I said, and get him adapted to the English game. It's not too much different from the Scottish game. That's why players that come from Scotland normally don't take like 3-4 seasons to adapt to the Premier League. But the player that I've been wanting to talk about the most in this video, besides Tammy Abraham, of course, is Rashica. Obviously, with Werder Bremen getting relegated from the Bundesliga this season, he is looking to leave and his price has been slashed. They should have sold him to us last summer. It looks like we were going to break our record signing for him, £30 million that we were willing to pay for Rashica, and they denied it. And he hasn't been brilliant in the Bundesliga this season, but he's playing in a very, very difficult to be brilliant in Werder Bremen side. And still, he has dribbles, he has moments that are very, very good. And in a team like Villa, I think he could shine the cause of an international as a very good player. He has the ability to change games with one touch, two touch, passes, goals. He's a goal scorer. He can play anywhere under the striker, even as a striker, and on either wing. That's very, very good for us. That's versatility to our front line. Obviously, in an area we are lacking right now with Trezeguet's long-term injury, and El Ghazi being convincing at times but also unconvincing at times, and maybe we want to push Jack Grealish back into the center of the pitch. That leaves that we have El Ghazi and Traore as our only options out on the wings. We need some cover there, and I don't think Rashica would come straight into the starting 11, but give him a few months like we did with Bertrand Traore, and I think Traore is one of our best players right now. He's probably my favorite player to watch this season. He's an undroppable for me. And if Rashica can come in and have the same effect that Bertrand Traore's had, I view that as a complete success considering he would cost us just over £15 million. That is a very good deal for a very good player. And obviously Werder Bremen are keen to sell, and they're ready to sell because they have been relegated from the Bundesliga. They know Rashica doesn't want to be there, and Rashica, like I said, is ready to make that move. He has always said he wanted to move to the Premier League, but there's also some clubs in Spain that are interested, unnamed clubs apparently. So that could be a problem, but I do think if he's going to go anywhere, he's going to want to go to England because his attributes are most suited to the English game. It just could take some while in terms of the strength department, the physicality of the game. Okay, now that we have the logistics covered of all the rumors, I'm going to give you my personal opinions on all of them. I made my argument for Tammy Abraham very personal. I'm very biased towards that because he's genuinely one of my favorite players. I love watching Tammy play. I love the way he plays. I still think, even without my personal opinion getting in the way, that he should be the one we go in for the most this summer, purely based on the fact he would help our team a ton. I think he would add a lot of goals to our team and add a finishing touch that we are lacking at times this season when Watkins is out of the game, was out of position, which isn't often. He's always there, but he can't do it all by himself. Now, I am very interested in this David Turnbull story because he's going to get a lot of experience this summer because he's been called up to the Euro 2021 squad for Scotland, and hopefully he gets some minutes there. I'm going to be watching Scotland, obviously, because of John McGinn, and I'll keep an eye out for Turnbull as well. And it should be exciting to see him at the Euros, see how he can do with the big boys. It's not the Scottish Premiership, it's the Euros. You're playing with some tough teams. And honestly, England, Scotland, I'm going to be keeping a very keen eye on that one, but a very good player, a very promising player. Like I said, he's been likened to Frank Lampard, and if we could get the next Frank Lampard, I think it's fair to say I'd take that. So that's a deal I'd very much like to see happen. Now, the one I really don't want to see happen, not because I'm not a fan of this player, but I don't want to see Belotti come to the club. I don't want to deal with the fact of a foreign player coming in, has no Premier League experience, takes time to get going, and then obviously the pressure builds, and it's just not a good situation. Kind of like what happened to Wesley, although I do rate Wesley. I just don't want to see Belotti at the club. That's me personally. He's a very good player, and if he came in, I wouldn't be super opposed to it, but I'd rather see Tammy Abraham come into a Premier League proven striker at least. Now, Rashica, I do think is going to happen. I think that one's going to get pushed to the line. Johan Lange is a very big fan of him, apparently, and we've tracked him for so long. We know what he's got. We've been in contact with his representatives for quite some time now, and I do think that one will get over the line because it's very clear he's way too good to be playing in the Bundesliga. The two Bundesliga, I should say, the second tier of German football. And he's going to want to leave. It's just a matter of who gets him, and I hope Villa do snatch him up. If I had to rank them in terms of who I'd want to see come into the club, I'd go number 1, Tammy Abraham, obviously. Number 2, I'm going to go for Milot Rashica, just because I feel like we need more cover in the wing position. Number 3, David Turnbull, but those Rashica and Turnbull could be switched. And then 4, Belotti, like I said. I'd like to see him come in, but also I don't want to deal with all the stuff that comes with him. I'd rather just get Tammy Abraham in, have no problems. He knows the club, and he'd be ready and straight to get going off the bat. First game, he could score a few goals and get some momentum going, and then you never know. But Belotti, it could take some time, and I think that's time that Villa just don't have. We need to be pushing from the get-go. We can't just be so inconsistent like we were last season. We need someone who's going to consistently put in the goals, and I think that man is Tammy Abraham. But that's just my opinion, of course. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below, and I will be covering some more news stories because I've only covered 4 here today because I don't want the video to be 25 minutes long. But there's definitely more stuff coming. There's more players that we've been linked with, and players that are linked with moves away from the club I want to cover as well and give my opinions on those. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video like I said earlier. Leave a comment on what you think is going to happen with these transfers. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. And remember, up the Villa. Thanks for watching.